What's up, guys? This is Kenny. There's a lull between now and like tomorrow where the rest of the Armand's Fusion events are gonna continue. So I want to make this video because I think it's important that you play the game the right way, regardless if you're a new or an old player. So the next part of the video, I'm gonna be talking about like 10 of the best tips and tricks, I guess, that you could follow to make your gaming experience great, regardless if you're like new or an old player. So I hope you like it. If there's anything that you can suggest, comment section is always open. Number 1, put up one-man defense teams on Tag Team Arena and Classic Arena. There's a reason why players don't go up in rank, and I think Plarium did a good job of doing this change where you have to do 20 battles a week to stay on your tier. So this gets rid of like older accounts who are now stagnant and are still like parked in Silver 3 or Silver 4 and gating other players. So it's very important that you do this because one, it makes farming for you faster because your points are not going up the higher tier, and you get to see other players who put up one-man defense teams just like this one as well. Because winning these matches gives you quick points, especially with events like CVC right now or Classic Arena tournaments. Very helpful. See, 160 CVC points. Pretty quick. And as for Tag Team Arena, you're gonna see we're here in Gold 3, but you would see the same thing, teams hanging around. So let's see how much it's gonna give you for a CVC. I know if you're like in the early part of CVC, if your clan has like the bonus for the points, it's like at Gold 3, 1400 CVC points per win. Right now, I think that part is exhausted because it's not just me doing the Tag Team Arena runs in the clan. I'm sure everybody does that. So we're gonna go see how many points we get out of this one. So we're going to battle 3. Shouldn't take long. Yep, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. It survives, he survives. Yeah, this is taking longer than the usual. There you go. Yep, no, still 1,400. Tip number 2. Learn to save your shards for big events like a ×2 or a 1+1. So one common mistake that a lot of players, myself included, do is we open shards when there's nothing going on. Sure, there may be progressive chance events, but this is all a scam. You're not really getting anything out of it if you just open nonchalantly during these events. So make sure, always save. Tip number 3. Only buy packs if they are good or great on-pack calculators. So you're looking at this one right off the bat. $60 gets you 240 prison crystals. On this event, you only need 25 to summon one, so that's like 9 summons. And you could get some from events. But do you really need the guys on these pools? Like, look at that. The pool is so saturated with epics, and your chance of getting a legendary is only 6%. I wouldn't buy any of these packs if I were you. I would rather settle for like an energy bundle or something that gets you something really good. Look at this. I would say this energy bundle is like one of the best ones out there. Like you could go this route. If you're above level 60, that's the best one, and you can do this, and that's for maximum value. But really, don't spend on this packs if you're just trying to get them. Wait for anniversary deals, wait for like a Black Friday deal, wait for a Christmas deal if you're ever gonna do it. Tip number 4. Cintranos is a thing now, but always wait for free gear before moving your stuff around. It's a monthly thing now. Last month, we had the privilege of having 2 of these only because they acknowledged that the players were complaining about the timing of the free gear event. So now I think they're veering towards having the gear event start on like the latter part of Cintranos, because this allows you to like go through the easier parts of the content, and then you should be able to do the hard parts when the free gear is on. Tip number 5. Use Hell Hades Optimizer to make regearing easier. I'm not gonna show you how to do it here on this video. I'm gonna post a link in the description to the website on how to get it. You should watch videos on how to use it. That's how I learned about it, and with some help from Crouching Grandpa, our favorite grandpa on Discord. It's very useful even if you don't have the premium one, because it just tells you like how to move your gear around using the optimizer. So it's gonna be easier to min-max your champs using that tool. You'd be pleasantly surprised at how easier it made the game for me. Like, I could just set up my champions and like put parameters on it, or like if I wanted to get maximum damage, or do I want them in balanced gears, and the optimizer does that for you. It's available on mobile, it's available on your PC, preferably your PC for optimum usage, and you could also sign up for premiums on it to get the best experience. Tip number 6 for me is gonna be save these brews. These brews are very important for champion training events, considering how champion training events have guaranteed stuff now. Like the last champion training event had souls for the archer, or you could have won the archer itself. I wasn't able to do that because I don't have a lot of these saved, so I didn't stand a chance against those players who were like very smart about keeping this. The Alta count has like thousands of brews, like it could win an event like that easy. The main one, this one, no chance, and I kind of regret it. Now I try to save them as much as possible, but I know I end up using them anyway. But yeah, you should save them for big events. Tip number 7. It's not really a tip, it's more of like an etiquette thing. Make sure you don't stall in live arena or be frustrated by it, but make sure you play it, because the Marius missions have stuff that's related to live arena play now. Playing live arena is essential if you ask me. Even if you're like a lower tier, winning 35 of this grants you free gear that you could only exclusively get from live arena, which is like the Impulse and the Zeal sets, and you get primal quartz too. So as you can see, I'm maxed out for this month, so I have to wait for next month to get them again. But either way, I'm still gonna play them because I haven't maxed out this part, and you need them for the Marius missions in the future. So I would rather you get to the higher parts of live arena just to make it easier for you to do. Oh, and when I say don't stall your opponents, if you lost the battle, don't try to stay at the screen, nor should you force close your screen just to mess up the opponent. I mean, don't be a sore loser. That's all I ask. Even at high level arena, a lot of people do that. It's annoying. Not only is it annoying, it just shows how much of a bad player you are. One last thing I'd like to add about live arena is that a lot of players don't know this, but if you win a match, you get 5 points. If you lose, you just lose 3 points. So if you accumulate enough battles in a day, you are eventually gonna gain more points even if you lose more than what you win. So just keep playing it, and that should let you inch closer to the next tier. And of course, the ultimate goal is to get Quintus at some point, because he's an awesome champ. He's a Hydra champ, he's a PvP champ. He's just useful everywhere. Pure raw damage dealer. So go for him, trust me. Tip number 8. is always use your Doom Tower keys. Just give it a try. This rotation is probably the most important rotation because Dark Fate drops lethal gear. I mean materials for lethal gear, and it's probably the best offensive set in the game that you could farm. Okay, a lot of gear sets are like good, but they're kind of like not farmable, like the new Slayer set, formerly the Ratala set, and even Savage you can farm, but you can farm it in Fire, and that doesn't include the 10% crit rate that Lethal does give. So make sure you farm those, and you do your secret rune keys as well, because religiously when they add up, you could just use them all straight up when you reach floor 120 of hard, and that gives you more materials. I might get a pushback from some of you and say that Merciless is now available via Centranos, but trust me, even with someone like me who has like a more advanced account than more players, Centranos is not an easy thing to do, and you would randomly still get stuff from Centranos that are like 5-star. They're not really like the best out there, and I can tell you right now, I don't have a single champ wearing like a 9-piece Merciless set, even though we're like on the 3rd or 4th rotation of Centranos right now. Tip number 9, and I can't stress this enough. If you're a new player, this is what I prioritized on when I was new. Like 1 month in, I was able to do Ultra Nightmare 1 key, but that's because I put my resources on it. So I'm not saying that you do the same, but if you can get to this part, like just 1 key Ultra Nightmare, and do the rest of these keys like on an average cycle of the 6-hour cooldown between keys, you could do 4 bosses, 1 key them. That's a lot of shards, materials, cruel and immortal gears for you. So that piles up, and eventually you'll notice like, oh wow, so I suddenly have like a lot of these things. So make sure to 1 key the Ultra Nightmare, and you'll be able to 1 key everything. And that's very important because you get free gears, free gems, free shards every day from it. So just go to deadwoodjedi.com. Most of the components to do this clan boss teams are there, so that's very important. And the last tip that I could give you is you have to find solace in what you accomplish in the game, because after all, this is just a game. Some people complain about not doing this, not being able to do that. I mean, everybody plays the game at a different pace, different resources, so you can't really compare apples to oranges. That's not the right way to do it. If you're able to do the game or play the game at your own pace, just do so. Try to find joy in it. Try to find joy in the little victories. You can't plow through arena, nor can you win CVC all the time, nor can you do Hydra if you're early game. There are levels to this, and you can never ever tell yourself that why can't I get at this level when they can? Because you should know what your restrictions and limitations are, but you should also never count yourself out. So always make sure to have fun in what you're doing. If you need any tips, you can always go to like the Hell Hades Discord or any other content creators Discords and ask for help. But take any advice as a grain of salt. Nothing is finite in this game. Everything is always fluid. The only thing that's like constant here is change, just like everything else. So again, I hope this 10 tips and tricks of mine kind of helped you in a way. If you're a new player, if you're an old player, maybe it's something you could reflect on. This has been your friendly neighbor Kenny. That's it for now. We'll probably have a big shard opening video on the next one again. We're just waiting for an event. Peace out. Tatas.